This is a real certificate of occupancy. If you guys take a look at this, this thing is dated. Let me see. Let me get out of the live. This thing is dated for the 19th of 2024. Okay. This is mine. That's my company right there. Okay. That's the address. If you guys want to look at the house, it's on the multiple listing. You guys can look at the house. It's 301 New Mexico 165. Okay. It's 301 NM 165. That's the address. Okay. This is a real certificate of occupancy that was just issued by the state just a few days ago. Okay. This house will make us about $285,000 net. Okay. We bought the land for about $80,000. I bought it way cheap because I control the area. These lots sell for about 150. So, P.S. by the way, when I talk about this, and I always get people to challenge me, they're like, lots are $250,000. They're expensive. Yeah, well, they're 250. There's somebody in there willing to sell for 200. Well, they're 200. There's somebody in there willing to sell for 150. And so I show you guys this because we'll make just shy of $300,000 net on this house. And this is my third house this year. And I only did 3 this past year. I don't build a lot of them because I can't have them interfere with my large developments. My large developments are multifamily projects, like these big ones. Okay. This is more of a multifamily. This one's like a $30 million apartment complex. But I want to paint the picture for you guys. I don't want to just show this to you guys. This right here is a set of building permits right here. This right here, I tell you guys, this is the process that we're going to go over today. This is a residential build. This is a single family home. And these permits just got issued to me, guys. I'm getting ready for this year. We're going to build 3 to 4 this year. And I want to paint a picture of what we're doing here for all of you guys. Is it okay if I do that for you guys? Because I want you guys to visually understand like where I'm going with all this stuff and why you guys would even be here, right? Is it okay if I do that? You guys can reply in the chat here. Just put yes in the chat if you guys are okay with me going over that. Okay. So look, guys, this is a set of building permits. You guys can look this one up as well. What's the date on this one? 12/18. So I finished one. And I start another, guys. Here's the date, 12/18. Okay, 12/18. 12/18. Right? So when we're going through this stuff, we're going through and we're going, okay, I got a real set of building permits that was issued, and it says post in conspicuous place. This is a set of building permits, okay? So when I go through this, I want you guys to see that what I'm talking about is the same process. It doesn't matter. Like I have folders here that are from Washington State. This is Phoenix. This one's Phoenix. That's my Taylor Street folder. I got stuff here. And the reason I show you guys this is because I want you guys to understand that what I'm putting my money where my mouth is. In a day and age where most people talk about this stuff but don't really have anything going on, I want to explain to you guys that what I'm talking about today is real. It's viable. It's the reality behind what I do and why I do it. Okay. This is lot 33, 34, and 35. Which project was this? This is California. Okay. This is California. It's one of my developments in California. And when I go through this stuff, guys, the reason that this is my Rio Rancho project development. It's lot number 8. We just paid our property taxes. We're going vertical with this project, right? So I show you guys all this stuff because these projects are real and they're really happening, right? And I talk about what is needed to actually go in and facilitate these builds, okay? And so when we're talking about what's needed to facilitate these builds, we're going in and we're getting a set of blueprints, okay? And I'm going to go through this process with you guys today. I'm going to talk about the process and how to get money for this and what it costs to build. This is the civil engineering for it. This is our grading and drainage plan, okay? We have all the architectural prints. This is like our lighting package, guys, right here. And we're going to talk about this today. We're going to talk about why does Jerome still build this stuff, right? When we have these big apartment complexes. It was funny. I called a buddy of mine just a bit ago that had been doing tree work for us for years. And he goes, I didn't even think you were doing this small stuff anymore. He goes, I thought you were just doing your big developments. I said, no, these big developments take 3 years to come out of the ground. They cash flow really well, but we sink all this cash back into big developments. And what's cool about that is like these homes, man, they don't take a lot of time, so they don't interfere with what I'm currently doing. So let me paint this and let me put this in perspective for you. The date on these permits is 12/18. The date of this certificate of occupancy is the 19th, right? I get a set of permits. I get a certificate of occupancy. Move on, boom, next house, and we break ground right away. This one on this house, if you guys want to look at it, It's a vacant lot right now. We're just about to break ground next week. We're waiting for the HOA to finish approving. And it's 10 basket weaver court. Okay. 10 basket weaver court. Okay. You guys are welcome to look at it. Okay. And you guys can go in and you guys can take a look at the addresses on this. Oh, it's right here on the set of plans too. 10 basket weaver court, right? 10 basket weaver court. Okay. And the reason I give that stuff to you guys is you guys to understand what the picture is. Now, when I was younger, guys, my biggest thing was I wanted to make money. Okay. Then, and at first, the reason was I wanted to attract a good woman that like had like you're not going to attract a good woman, man, if you have nothing going on. And if good women want reliable men, they're not just going to go and marry you because you're handsome or because you think you're somebody special. They're going to marry you because you are somebody special. You're doing something with your life, right? And for those of you guys that are already married, you guys are looking at this stuff, it goes to a second phase of your life, and it's retirement. And you sit back and go, okay, what kind of quality of life do I want with my family, my wife, and my kids? So when I look at this, I look at it from a perspective where I said, okay, I have a full-time business. And a lot of you guys have, yeah, it'll be on YouTube. We'll put it on YouTube later for you guys. And so one of the things that I want you guys to understand is I want you guys to understand that like you guys are all working for the vast majority, 99% of you guys are working right now. And a lot of you guys have families. And so when you're looking at this, you're sitting back going, can I do it? Like not Jerome, can Jerome do it? But like you're going, can I do it? You know? And so when you guys are looking at it like that, I'm going, yes, you can. It's a house, for God's sake. It's not like something that's taboo. It's a house, man. You're like building a house. It's easy, you know, and I know it seems like an entertainment, but it's not. There's a process to this that I know a lot of people didn't learn in school. I'm going to go over it with you guys here really quick. And by the way, if you guys aren't following us on IG, I know you guys are on IG right here. Follow us on IG, Jerome Maldonado 1. Go over a lot of really cool stuff on there. Now, look, guys, I looked at this when I had my full-time business. And when I had my full-time business, I said, okay, I can do this. And I didn't know how much time it was going to take to actually do this. So when I went in and I started doing this, in the management of this to do like 2 of these at a time, it takes about 10 hours a week because you have to show up to the job site about once every single morning. And it takes about 30 minutes to an hour every morning to manage a project right, especially in the beginning. Then you're going to have about an hour worth of phone calls every day. And that hour worth of phone calls is going to bring you in your subcontractors, the scheduling, the suppliers, what you're ordering. 2 hours a day, guys, for 5 days a week. 5 days a week, 2 hours a day, you can successfully do these. How many of you guys would love to be able to make $150,000 to $250,000 on one build part-time, working 10 hours a week? And look, guys, so one person, there's hundreds of you guys on here. One person? Oh yeah, okay. Come on, guys, I'm doing this for you. You want me to give out, pour my love on you guys? You guys pour back to me. I'm doing this for you guys, okay? I'm already rich. I'm doing this because this helps us raise capital, and I change a lot of people's lives doing this, and it's the best feeling in the world. So look, guys, here's the thing. When you guys go in 10 hours a week, but most of you guys won't do it, that's still too much time for a lot of you guys because you guys are lazy. So I need a commitment from you guys moving into the new year, okay? I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. I believe that you should be doing what you're supposed to be doing every day, not just January 1st and then quit a week or two later. So if you guys hear my post where I'm ranting about like screw New Year's resolutions, it's because no one follows through with them, man. Just follow through with your life every day, right? Function on faith, family, fitness, and finances will follow. Those 4 things, guys. It's the 4 F's of life, and everything else will follow. Okay, now I know you guys didn't come in here to hear me preach, so I'm going to go over some stuff. You guys ready to learn? You guys ready to learn? Just say yes. I'm ready to learn. Say, Jerome, shut up. Let's go learn. Come on, baby. Let's do this. Okay, so let's learn. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. Let's talk about this, and I want you guys to think about this from a money perspective, okay? Because it's for a lot of you guys, this first one's going to be hard enough to get out of the ground because you guys are mentally restricted from getting the finances together. I'll help you with that, okay? Don't worry about being mentally restricted. Let me turn off the glare of this light. Okay, there we go. That's better. Yeah, that's better. Okay, now, when we go in, guys, I want you guys immediately, we have an affiliate that's called Prime Corp Services. So the first thing that you guys need to think about is money, okay? Okay, how am I going to scale? Because the biggest problem in the beginning, you think it's this. You think it's getting a house out of the ground, but it's not. Because as soon as you get one of them out of the ground, you're going, damn, Jerome's right. That wasn't as hard as it seemed to be in my brain. And now my only regret is not doing two of them. That's going to be your biggest dilemma. Okay. But the bandwidth is going to sit back and go, okay, how do I scale into two immediately? You're going to have about 150 to 200,000. You can utilize that to collateralize against two builds, and you can do it through construction lending. I recommend that, but I also recommend you guys use business lines of credit. For those of you guys that are challenged with your debt to income ratio, or if you're challenged because of your personal credit, or you're just challenged because of your bandwidth for execution with cash flow, then listen, you guys have to function on business credit. Okay. Now, I'm going to go through this really quick today, guys. So I'm going to hit on a lot of different things. I'm going to hit on business credit. I'm going to hit on single family, and I'm going to talk about multifamily. And the reason that you guys want to get into the multifamily space is there's two reasons, guys. There's two reasons and two reasons only. It's not because I love multifamily and I want to hug it, right? Like if I told you guys that you guys could get rich making paper airplanes, how many of you guys would be making paper airplanes? Like if you guys said, hey, you can retire by making paper airplanes, you guys would be sitting back going, Jerome, teach me how to make paper airplanes. If I told you guys that you could pay no federal income taxes making paper airplanes, you would also start making paper airplanes. So there's two things here today, guys. The reason you have to get into multifamily or warehouse, but multi-unit real estate, because office warehouse, great asset class, guys. I still like the multifamily game because there's such a deficit of it, and it's so much simpler to build, and there's so many different ways to build it without a lot of bandwidth for financing, because you could build a 2-unit easy. You can build a 4-unit, still a residential property, easy. You can go in, you start scaling over 5 units, just go from 4, go up to 8 right away. Don't even mess with 5, 6, 7. Just go straight to 8 units right away, because the financing is going to be the same. The bandwidth and profitability on 8 units way more plentiful off an 8 unit than it is off a 5 and 6 unit. Okay. Now, what's the status with Mulholland? Okay. Now, I don't know what that means, by the way. Okay, now, when we come in, guys, the first step is you guys need to pick a name. Okay, pick a name. That's your business name. Now, when you pick a name, you need to register this name with the state. Your LLC. Okay. Now, typically, I'll share my screen. I'll go through all this with you guys. We don't have time for that today. I want you guys to understand this process, right? You can hire somebody to do this for you for about $1,000, or you can do it yourself for free. You do have to pay the state filing fees. The state filing fees might be $150, $200, depending on where you go. Now, I typically register my main LLCs as Delaware corporations because the bankruptcy laws in Delaware are easy. I usually hire a registered agent in Delaware that I pay like $100 a year to be my registered agent. And I register my business through the state of Delaware. Now, you're always going to, if you're doing bank loans in the state of Arizona, you're going to have to also register it in the state of Arizona. If you're doing bank loans in the state of California, you're also going to have to register it in the state of California. If you're doing bank loans in the state of Kentucky, you're going to have to register in Kentucky. If you're doing bank loans in Alabama, you're going to have to register in Alabama. Florida, same thing. New Mexico, same thing. Colorado, same thing. You still have to register it. Like I have a Delaware corporation. Ty and I bought a bunch of warehouses in Virginia. We still had to register it with the state of Virginia, right? So you register it, you go in. This registration, guys, is just a state filing fee with a state corporation commission. Now, that's step number 1. Step number 2 for building business credit, okay? These are the steps of building business credit. Now, doesn't matter what business you're in. You can be in car sales. You could own a beauty salon or a barber shop. We just happen to be building houses and building real estate. So this is our business credit, guys. This is for business credit. Okay, this is how you get 6 figures worth of business credit in 12 months. Okay, the whole business model on how to get 6 figures in business lines of credit in less than 12 months is right here. Now, number 2, you have to do this stuff the second you get started doing this, guys. And this is easy. This is easy stuff. Okay, now you're going to register that name and you're going to get what's with the IRS. You're going to go to irs.gov And then you're going to apply for what's called an employer's identification number, an EIN number. It's going to ask you why you want that. It's going to say, do you want to hire employees? Do you want this? No, I don't want to hire any employees. Not yet. Okay. I just need to register it so I get a bank account. I need to register it because I'm going into business. And so you just click on irs.gov, employer identification number, apply now. It's free. It takes 15 minutes, guys. This step takes 15 minutes. And then you just register this company with this EIN number. Okay. Now, you're also going to need what's called an operating agreement. 3 is operating agreement. You might be asking, what the hell does this have to do with real estate? Can't do real estate if you don't have money, ladies and gentlemen. This is the key towards scaling your wealth in real estate is money. Okay, you can't get this without this. Okay, this is the first step to help you scale. You can go in and build houses without having this. This is going to take you about 12 months to really set up correctly, where you have bandwidth for large quantities of credit, but extremely viable. Okay, and if you do this right off the bat, 95% of business owners never do this. Never do this. Only about 5% of business owners go in and register this stuff up, register it correctly. Now, once to get an operating agreement, you could pay an attorney to do it for you. Or how many of you guys use AI? How many of you guys use like ChatGPT? How many of you guys are using ChatGPT or AI for stuff? A few of you guys? Okay, you might want to get it. Now, very inexpensive. You'll need it to get you might want to expand on your operating agreement at some point in time. What state are you guys from? John, you've been real active in here. John, what state you from, John? Washington. Oh shit. Where's John from? Is that Texas? Did I see Texas for John? That like flew by.
Look in here. Yeah, Texas.
Okay. So
John
let's
Berman.
do this. Watch. So check this out. So check this out. Okay. So we go into ChatGPT and watch. Here's how easy it is to write an operating agreement. You guys complicate things so much. You don't have to complicate it, guys. You can go in and say, watch. If I just ask ChatGPT, write me a 10-page operating agreement for XYZ LLC based out of San Antonio, Texas, that builds homes and has an arbitration clause in it, also has a litigation clause in it, also has a clause related to operations and management in compliance with the state of Texas. Yeah, see this thing? And it's just going. Check this thing out. Just riding it for me. You guys see that? How freaking badass is that? How many of you guys want an attorney in a box? Look, guys, and it just writes up the operating agreement for you. Okay. Introduction has your purpose, your table, it has your to finish your business purpose, member information, list of members, ownership interest, management structure, management members versus managers, power of duties of managers, members, capital contributions, distributions, meetings, meeting hours, transfer, stuff that 99% of you guys don't even know what the hell this is. But ChatGPT just wrote it for you. It just wrote all of it for you. Okay. And then it has a little signature on there for member 1, member 2. I didn't tell it that it was a single entity, but you can do it. How many of you guys would love to have a business in a box? You write an operating agreement right off of ChatGPT in like seconds, guys. And now you're ready to go to the bank. You can get this registered day 1. You can get this registered 15 minutes. You can write this on ChatGPT, go in there and clean it up, make sure it has the entities, the address, fill in a couple of the blanks, and you go in and you have a business already established right here. And now you walk into, let's say, Bank of America. Number 4 is get a bank account. Okay. So let's go and say you go to Bank of America. You set up a bank. Let's go to Chase better. Bank of America sucks. Go to Chase. Okay. Go to Chase. Chase is better than Bank of America. You go in, you go to Chase Bank, guys. And now when you go in, they're going to ask you for these three things right here. Okay. Second, you're done. You're going to say, can I get a credit card with that? Can I get a $10,000 limit? They'll probably say, we'll give you five. I'll say, okay, we'll do that. Okay. Now, when you do that, you'll get a $5,000 credit card almost instantly. They're going to ask what your annual revenue is. Either give them your projected revenue. Say, I'm going to do a gross annual revenue of $800,000 because let's say you're building an $800,000 house. Okay. Now, here's what I want you guys to understand about new businesses. Okay. When I'm talking about this is very important for you guys to understand. 95% of businesses fail in the first 12 months that they open. Okay. 95%, true numbers. Out of the 95% that open, 98% of them don't turn a profit for the first 2 years. Okay. 24 months before they even turn a profit. That's 98% of companies, guys. So you're in the top 0.2% of all business owners since the history of Adam and Eve when you build houses. And I'm going to go through those numbers here in just a moment. Okay. Now, so when you go in, you tell them we're an $800,000 a year business. You put one house, guys, 800 grand. That's your gross annualized revenue because that's what the house is going to sell for. Now, if you net $160,000 for sake of example, your net revenue is $160,000. Some people are saying, well, Jerome, my business hasn't made that money. No shit. I understand. I get it. And banks do too. And there's companies like Silicon Valley Bank that went under, but they were predominantly lending money to new startup businesses, predominantly in the tech industry, but they saw a business that worked. Now, one of the biggest businesses in the world today is home building because of and apartment building because of the shortage of rooftops right now. So when you go in, you talk to the banks, they already know, or you can use your personal income. So if let's say you're working as a firefighter or a teacher or something, let's say you're making $90,000 a year, you're supporting your business for the first couple of years. So you just put your annualized revenue, just put $90,000. What's your net revenue? Out of the $90,000 after taxes and stuff, I typically take home about $65,000. Put that number in there. And then you go in and you get a business line of credit. You ask them, can I get a $100,000 business line of credit so I can get my business going? And then they might deny you, but they might give you 50 grand. They might give you 20 grand. Whatever they give you, take it. Okay. And then what you do with this is you go in and you register your company with you get a DUN number. So number 5, you get a DUN number off of Dun & Bradstreet. You get a DUN number with Dun & Bradstreet. Okay. That's important. Now you're a legitimate company. Okay. Number 6, you get registered with a Better Business Bureau. Okay. Now with these, you start going to work and you start building a business, guys. Now you're going to build a house. Okay. Now you're going to go get some trade references. You're going to use your little tiny $5,000 credit card to go buy light fixtures, and you're going to pay it off with your construction loan. You're going to go out and buy plumbing fixtures. You're going to pay it off that same month with your construction loan. You're not going to max it out and not use it. You're going to use it and you're going to pay it off. You're going to use it. You're going to pay it off. You're going to use it and pay it off all the way through the construction of this house right here that you're building. Okay. Every single step of the way, because this is money, guys. This right here is money. And we're going to use this money. We're going to use the bank's money to help us build credit, business lines of credit. So that way we can scale into 2 of these right away. Go get another construction loan on house number 2, and then house number 3, we build at the exact same time, and we do it together in alignment with this using a business line of credit 12 months later. Because if you go in and you do this, ladies and gentlemen, and you tell a bank, I grossed at the end of the year, you go back and affirm these numbers. You say, I sold a house for $810,000. This house right here, we got this certificate of occupancy on last week. Guys, this house is for sale on the multiple listings. You guys can go to it. The address is 301 NM 165. That's like New Mexico Highway 165. So it's 301 NM 165. That's the address. You can look at it. It's on the multiple listings. It's on Redfin. It's everywhere. It's $830,000. You'll watch me. That house will not sell for $830,000. The house will sell for like $810,000. I'll lower it like $5 grand. I'll wait through the holidays to get past. I'll wait 2 weeks in, and then I'll fresh that listing up on price reductions every Friday. I'll drop it $5 grand for 4 weeks, and then boom, it'll just sell. And that's just the state of the market in the winter that we're in right now. But we'll sell this house for about $810,000. We'll make about $280,000 to $295,000 on this house, depending on where we land up with the sales price. But this right here You tell somebody you did $810,000 in gross revenue your first year on one bill, and if you tell them that you net even 160,000, half of that, 150,000 a year, ladies and gentlemen, you are in the top 0.2% of all business owners since the history of Adam and Eve. Okay, now how many of you guys want to see what this looks like numbers wise? How many of you guys want to learn this and see what this looks like numbers wise? Scroll this down. All right, let's do it, guys. All right, let's make it happen. What about a startup? Recommend apply for credit or a loan, and do we need cash flow? No, I just went over that. Just go back. If you guys are asking questions on stuff I just went over, no problem. God bless you. Thank you for being here. Even though you're a little late, I love you. Continue joining because we have a shit ton of information moving forward. But just go back, rewatch it on YouTube. And all of you guys that are here, by the way, we're going to send you out the repeat video as well. Just put hashtag repeat in the view section and rewatch it. Okay, now. But yes, you can go in and you can build new credit. And if you're a brand new business, this was the model, guys, of how to build business credit right off the bat, right here for all you people that just joined us. Okay, now let's go in and let's take advantage of how we make that money, right? Because it doesn't matter if you have business credit and business lines of credit if you don't make money. The whole goal is to make money, to scale and make money. Now, here's the thing, guys. We were in. I went in and I'm just going to use this as an example. Okay. We have, and I'm biased because my son's playing football and we're working on getting him Division I scholarships right now. And so, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. The way you live your life, if you raise your kids right, God willing, they follow in your lead, right? So we're working on Division I scholarships for my son. So some of the people that are in our community, guys, that are part of our inner circle community, are Division I football coaches. I kind of biasly pulled some of these people in because I want to see them freaking crush it. And they know, like I know, they might be making strong six figures or even seven figures a year, but after taxes, man, you get railed. You get railed. So you could be making $1 million a year, but after taxes, you're really only making 600, if you're lucky, 650. But that's it, because all the rest of it goes to taxes and you just get hammered, especially if you're working for a state university, because now they're just withdrawing money right out of your check every month. And you just see you get a check for you may get a check for $50,000 for the month, or maybe 70, 80,000 for the month, but on the gross, but then you see it drop down to 40,000. You're like, scratch your head. You're like, damn, what the hell happened? Right? Taxes happen. Okay. So these guys are going in. So this weekend, I called up one of them and I said, hey, what city are you in? Okay. And let me go through this with you guys, because this is how simple it was. So this gentleman, his name is Cornelius. He goes, okay. Okay. Hey, Esther, do me a favor. Can you get with Sarah and ask her? We just got our access removed for live videos on TikTok for whatever reason. And so have her go look into that, have her dispute that, and work on TikTok for me if you would, Esther. Okay, now here's the thing, guys. I don't even think I use profanity. Okay, so when we go in, guys, I biasly look at that stuff. So there's a gentleman, and I asked him, okay, where does he live at, right? I want to know where he lives. And I just figured, I said, hey, this guy does well. He's working he's working for the university. He has to live in an area that's somewhat affluent, right? At least a nice neighborhood. So I found out that he just lives just outside of Nashville. So I just Googled houses in the Nashville area, and I came up with a bunch of in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. There's a ton of houses, guys. Rockvale, Tennessee. There's all these areas, and I started pulling these up, guys. And I did this on the way to the ski slope while I was driving, guys. While I was driving, and you said, "Oh my God, Jerome, that's dangerous." No, you sit back and say, "Hey, you tell Google, you take one click. Homes selling for $1 million near Memphis, Tennessee." And then you just scroll and you're clicking and I'm watching, I'm going new construction. Look at these, say new construction. new construction, and look at these guys. $899,000, 2,800 square feet. Okay. So, I mean, it took me literally like 2 minutes and I sat back and I'm like, cool. Well, shit. I wonder how much the land is. I went through there and I'm like, okay, the lots are listing for about $150,000 to $200,000. I can get lots for $150,000 with utilities, guys, with utilities on them. And I look in the backdrop there and I can see that there's new homes and vacant lots on these as I look at those. So I sit back and I'm looking at this stuff and there's land for sale. And I just look at this. It takes me like no time. So it doesn't matter what city you're from. You do that and you Google it. Okay. Let's take this one for example. I just pulled it back up. I just clicked on the link. Let's take that one because it fits in our business model. Okay. Now, I'm going to explain our business model to you guys really quick. So let's take this. Let's take a look at this. 2,800 square feet home. The house, say it's the sales price is $899. Okay, it's called $900,000. It's $899,000. Okay, so 900K. Okay, 900K. Now, some of you guys are sitting back going, Jerome, I can't afford a $900,000 house. Yeah, you can. Yes, you can. Now, here's the biggest issue, guys. For a lot of you guys that are watching this brand new right now, the biggest problem, okay, the biggest problem is you guys don't know how to get money. We don't get raised in an education system that teaches us about commercial lending, guys. This is commercial lending because you're a business, okay? Now, you guys are less relevant than you think you are. Most of you guys think that the banks are only looking at you. Yes, they want to know that somebody credible that can get the bill done, can get it done. But for a lot of you guys, what it's more about is the asset that the bank's investing in, which is this asset right now. Do you think the bank could go in on this brand new set of permits that we have, guys? Brand new set of permits that we have. Just got this on December the 18th. Okay, we just got these on December the 18th. Okay, you guys see the date right there? December the 18th. December the 18th. Okay, you guys see that? Okay. When I go in, guys, and if I give a full set of prints to the bank like this, when I go into the bank and I give them a full set of architectural blueprints like this, do you think they can appraise this house now based on where the location that it's in, where it's at, and what we're building? How many of you guys think the bank can now have something that they can appraise? Yes or no? What do you think, Paul? Yes or no? Brian, what do you think? Yeah? Okay. So the biggest thing, guys, is now we give them a tool. This is the bank's tool for appraisal to say, yeah, man, there's houses in this area, they're being built, right? Like we have two of them just right there on Redfin that are right by each other, right down the road from each other. Both these are new construction. Both of them are for sale, and they're both different. One of them's $1 million. It's 3,200 square feet. The other one is 2,800 square feet. It's $900,000. So they're the same, but they're different. There's different homes, but the comps per square foot are very similar. Okay. Now we go in, guys, in this market, any market, you build what people need, not what they want. You build what people need, not what they want. Okay. Not what they want. We build what they need. Okay. We're building what they need. Now, what people need is they need a nice 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom home. They need something between 1,700 square feet to 3,000 square feet. Okay. Does this fall within that parameter, guys? Does this fall within that parameter, 2,800 square feet? It does, doesn't it? So we're building what people need. Okay. We're not getting into big luxury homes. I could take this same model at an $800,000 resale price. It's just that the land is a little bit more expensive here. So with increased land prices comes increased resale prices. So when we go in and we look at this, let's underwrite this real quick. Let's say that lot, we land up paying a little bit more for it. Let's say that we find it kind of halfway between it, like $170,000. That's expensive for that land, but let's call it 170. Okay. So 170K is the land. Okay. Now we need to build this house. So our build cost, nationwide average, ladies and gentlemen, $141 a square foot. Okay. I have a feeling that's going to creep up on us as we move into spring and summer this year, but it's $141 a square foot according to the National Association of Home Builders. Now, when you guys do this, most of you guys are going to need to hire a general contractor. It's called the process of 30. Okay. Now, the process of 30, we go over it. I explain how you hire a contractor. And I'm not going to go through that today. Just understand that there's a specific type of contractor you want. There's a way to hire that contractor, and there's a way to facilitate that build where you do it where it's cost effective. They still make money, you make money, and you manage the project successfully. How can you find the process of 30? In our inner circle, we have it in there, and I think we might have. I think there's a process of 30 on YouTube someplace too. You might have to search for it a little bit, but it's all organized for you when you're part of our community. Okay, and you guys will be invited to be a part of our community here. That's the whole reason we do these, guys, to educate you guys. And at the end of these, you sit back and say, "No shit, Jerome, I'm going to need some help doing this." And I'm like, "I know." And so the whole goal is to share with you guys business, and then let you guys know that, hey, you're going to need a community. You're going to need people in your backyard that are already doing this to help you. I built that for you. Okay, so we go back in and do this. You're going to share contractors. You're going to share subcontractors. You're going to create, go out and get your own contractors, your own subcontractors, share those with other people. Now, when we go in, guys, it's going to cost you more than $141 a square foot to build the houses that I'm showing you here. So with a contractor, you're going to be closer to about $165 a square foot to build these houses. Okay, that's what the cost is to build. We're building them at $155 right now a square foot. You're going to be closer to $165 a square foot. So if we take 2,800 square feet and we multiply this times $165 per square foot, okay, and we multiply it by 165, that's going to be 2,800 times 165. Our build cost is going to be $462. $462,000. $462,000 is going to be our build cost on that house. Okay. Now we're going to have some debt service on this house. Okay. We're going to have some debt service. And let's talk about this for a second. Okay. But before we do, we're also going to have some closing costs. Okay. Now, these are bypass costs. These are direct costs. Okay. This is a direct cost. And these are bypass costs. So these costs right here are not on the front end. They're on the back end. Now, your closing costs are going to be about 60%. Okay. You're going to negotiate your sale. And what you're going to do is you're going to go in and you're going to have 1% closing cost, 2.5% to the buyer's broker, 2.5% to the selling broker, and you're going to take $900,000, 900K times 0.06. That's going to be $54,000. Okay, so this is going to be $54,000. Now, your debt service is going to be on these items right here. Okay, they're going to be on these two items right here. You're going to get the bank to buy the land for you. So you're going to need a $170,000 loan from the bank for the land. That's going to be part of your construction money. It's going to be your very first draw, guys. Your very first draw. Okay, so we're going to take 170 plus 462,000, and that's going to be $632,000. So your direct cost is going to be 632,000. 632. Okay, now $632,000 is what you need from the bank. Now, this wasn't taught in school, but check this out, guys. How much is the house worth? $900,000. One thing that we all know about commercial lending is that the lender typically requires 20% down. And 99% of your guys' brains right now go, Jerome, I don't have the 20% down to be able to buy that lot or build that house. I know, I got you. So the equity can either be paid for out of your pockets, and you pay for it out of your pockets, or you create the equity through land entitlements, right? And through the permits. This is where the money is, guys, right here. So you create the equity. So what you do is, let's say in commercial lending, it's a commercial loan, it's a residential loan, but let's say you go in and it's an investment loan for an investment property, right? So you take $900,000 times 80% times point. This is called 75% times 0.75. Because it's probably going to be closer to 75 to 80% right now. That's $675,000, guys. 675. How much do you need to buy the land and build the house? The bank is willing to give you 675. 675, you only need 632. So the bank is willing to give you 675K. This is going to serve your debt, the difference between the 32 and the $75,000. The debt service on this is going to be on this 632, but they won't just dump $632,000 into your bank account. In fact, what they're going to land up doing is they're going to do it based on draws. So they'll give you a loan for $170,000. When they give you this loan for $170,000, ladies and gentlemen, what's going to land up happening is they're going to sit back and go, okay, this is what you have to pay interest on. Now, when you pay interest on that, it's post 30, okay? Because you're going to pay interest on it, and then 30 days later, you're going to get the loan, and then 30 days later, you're going to have the interest payment, okay? Now, move you guys out of the way here. Okay. Now, when you go in and do your foundation and your dirt work, you're going to go in and you're going to get a loan draw for the foundation, maybe 35,000, the dirt work maybe another 10. So maybe now it's 170 plus the $45,000. Then once you get your lumber package delivered, you frame the house, they're going to give you another loan. They're going to give you another draw on your loan, and that might be another $50,000. So it's the 50,000 plus the 40,000 plus the 170,000. So it's escalating over the course of time. So if you have like an 8% interest rate, 9% interest rate, let's call it 9%. In this case, $632,000. 632 times 0.09, that's going to be $56,000. A good rule of thumb on a 6-month build like this is a 5-month build, but it's going to take you guys about 6 months to do, is going to be to take 30% of it. Let's take half of it. So if we, so times point, about $28,000 in interest payment. Let's just call it $30,000. So our debt service on this is going to be $30,000. Okay. Now, your payments aren't due right at the beginning. You're not going to go in every month. You're not going to write a check to the bank like you do your mortgage. I know a lot of you guys think that that's the case. And one of the big questions is, Jerome, how do I afford the loan every single month? I have a mortgage payment. I got kids in private school. I got a car payment. I got all these expenses. How do I afford the loan? It's called interest reserve, guys. They'll give you 675. You need 632. If they put $30,000 in interest reserve, what happens is they take that money from interest reserve from the 675. And so you don't actually pay that out of pocket. It gets paid on the back end. That's why I say that these are bypass costs. These costs come out of the back end of the loan. Okay. So when we go in, this debt service is coming out of the proceeds of our loan of 675. You only need 632. This is your execution number. Okay. Now, how do you do this where you give this to the bank? You're going to need a spreadsheet, guys. Have you guys seen this book, My Home Builder's Checklist? You guys seen this yet? How many of you guys would like a business in a box, business in a book? How many of you guys would like to have absolutely everything that we do right here in a book, guys? How many of you guys would love to have everything from considering what you need, planning, sufficient storage, how to build the house, visualize it, hire reputable contractors? How many of you guys would like to have cover finishes and then have a punch list of absolutely everything that you guys need? Okay, everybody. Now, also as part of this, guys, talking about bathrooms, laundry, everything, you name it, it's in here, guys. There's a spreadsheet in here. Okay, and this spreadsheet is going to go over everything that you need on the construction of the house. Here's the spreadsheet right here, in fact. Okay, I wanted to print it and show it to you guys. This is the spreadsheet, guys. Okay, this spreadsheet right here, ladies and gentlemen, this spreadsheet, it goes through everything: architecture, blueprints, engineering, surveying, soil tests, utility fees, architecture, landscaping, property taxes. It goes through other stuff. So there's going to be some other stuff depending on where you're going: sewers, storm drains, everything on here. Everything is on here. Street signs, demo, debris removal, excavation, grading, temp holes, rental equipment, plumbing, framing labor, roofing, structural steel. How many of you guys would love to have this? Anybody want this? Guess who else wants this, guys? Guess who else wants this spreadsheet from you guys and the numbers that goes along with it? How many of you guys are scared to build a house? And be honest, guys. Just say I am in the chat if you're scared to build a house right now. Just be 100% honest. Say, if you're scared to build a house, just put I am or put me. Okay? Cool. That's normal. That's a normal emotion. Your emotions are going to go scared, excited. You're going to be scared, excited when you get your lot, but scared. And you're going to go ups and downs between scared and excited. Okay? Now, wouldn't it make sense? How many of you guys would love to have all the costs in advance to build this house and get this loan? You're going to need this, guys. The second you get the electronic copy of this from your architect, this goes out to every single one of the trade professionals that's on this list. Okay? Every single trade professional. And you put it out to bid. You put this out to bid. Based on the numbers you get 3 trade references, 3 trade bids from every single trade. You plug in your numbers right onto the spreadsheet, guys. Right onto the spreadsheet for the bank. The bank's going to want these numbers. Okay? Now, here's the way the lending works. Okay? You go in, you're going to do dirt work, foundation, framing labor, materials, roofing, insulation, electrical, plumbing, heating and cooling, paint, drywall, everything, all the way down. You're going to have costs for all those items. This is your execution number. This one is going to be for $632K. Okay? Now, this is for execution. This is for you and you only. You don't give the bank these numbers. Okay? Does anybody on here work for free? Because I don't work for free. I expect to make a profit anything I do, and you guys do too. There's not one person in here that's willing to work for free long term. So if I get people say, I'll go work for you for free, Jerome, so I can learn this. Let's go. Right? But here's what you guys need to know. There's a house that's $900,000. There's a retail reality to this house. So when you go in, guys, you can do this one where you do underwrite this at $850K and you go through every item, same as this, but you inflate them a little bit so that you pad your costs so that way you're making profit on every single one of your subs. You're managing it. So put a management fee in there. If you have a development fee, put a development fee in there. So now you put the same spreadsheet together, but you add that 25% that you need for the bank into the spreadsheet. Because no one works for free. Now, you're not going to draw on that extra money. You're going to leave it there. You're going to execute, and you're going to make your money on the back end, guys. You're going to make your money on the back end. You make your profits when you're done. But you're going to underwrite it so that you get money from the bank to pay for the land. So you're not out of pocket for the land. Okay? Now, let's take a look here. We got all our costs. We know we have a $900,000 house. Look at that mess that's on there. Let's add it all up. Okay, we got 632. So 632 plus we have $30,000 in debt service, plus we have $54,000. That's $716,000 that we have in total cost. Okay, so our total cost is 716. So our total cost is $716,000. We're going to subtract that from 900,000. Hey, champ. How was your workout?
Good.
Yeah, did you get it done? Did you work out with Cam?
Yeah.
Yeah? How was it? You guys enjoy it?
Yeah.
Nice. Proud of you. Okay. $184,000, guys. That's your net. That's your net out. 184. So your net, 184K. How are you doing? First build, guys. How are you doing? You're going to need tools. You're going to need resources, guys. You can go do this, and you can do it on your own. You can do it on your own. Truth be told, it's not that hard, guys. But how much easier would it be if you guys had everything laid out for you? There's 360 pages here. Most of you guys don't want to read this. But how would you guys like this in an electronic spreadsheet, guys? How many of you guys would love this in an electronic spreadsheet? To be able to do this where these spreadsheets were electronic and you were able to pump these out on Excel. How would you guys like to have these punch lists on spreadsheets where you can go in and just check mark them as you guys are building a house? You know what this book is, guys? This book right here, and I'm not soliciting you guys the book. What I'm soliciting you guys is the business that we built over the last 28 years. I called the girls in my office one day and I said, hey, Cammie, can you do me a huge favor? And I said, can you email Sarah? Sarah works for us on our online brand. I said, can you email her all of our spreadsheets? And I went through them with her. I said, can you email her our price breakdown spreadsheet for our residential underwriting? Can you also send her the PDF on how to underwrite our multifamily? Send her the short form and the long form. And then I said, can you also send her over our subcontractor checklists? Can you send it over for the plumbing, for everything, framing, for everything? And she goes, yes. And so she went in and put together about 20 PDFs and sent about 20 or 25 PDFs over to our office. And then we went to I called Sarah and I said, hey, Sarah, do me a favor. I said, can you put this into a book form and just put it in sequential order? And I gave her a list. Said, we're going to start off with dirt work. We're going to start off with framing. We're going to go through this. We're going to go through that. We need everything in a book. And then I went to go get it binded. And they go, it's going to cost you X amount of dollars. And I said, what the hell is so expensive? Because I binded these books, guys. Look at this. I binded these books on how to build a house, and they're tiny. These cost me like $1 something to put together. This, they gave me a price like $10 to bind it. And I was like, why? They go, it's 350 plus pages, Jerome. I said, no shit. I said, how did that happen? Why is it so long? And I called my office. I said, hey, how the hell did this thing line up 350 pages? They go, it's just all the PDFs we have, Jerome. And that's what it came out to be in a book. These books are only available on TikTok Shop. They're going to be available for you guys on Amazon in just a few weeks. We're editing a few things in here. But you know where they're available to you guys at? They're available to you guys in San Francisco on February 8th. I'm going to give you guys all of the electronic spreadsheets that you guys need. I'm going to give you this entire book online. It's better online than it is in a hardback book. Binded, it's great. But electronically, it's better because now you have working spreadsheets like this that you can utilize. But the only place that you can get them is by coming to our workshops or being a part of our community. It's the only places that they're available to you guys. We don't market them publicly. They're private community. You guys will need help with this, guys. And the biggest thing is you can go in and make $184,000 doing this. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, here's the thing. Once you do this once, you're going to want to do it twice. And when you go out and you build 2 of them in your second year, because here's the process, guys. Your first 3 months, you're going to be getting comfortable. You're going to be educating yourself. You're going to be working with us. Okay. And it's going to take, you're going to go through this volatility of being scared, but being excited, right? Like I mentioned to you guys. But once you do one of these, you're going to land up with a tax liability. And so you're going to be forced to do something about that. Because how many of you guys want to take this risk and want to put your ass on the line? And how many of you guys want to go out after you take all this risk, put your ass on the line, and go out and build this house and put all that effort into it? How many of you guys want to write a check for $80,000 to the IRS? Does anybody want to scratch a check to the IRS? No, hell no. No way. Nobody does.